Okay, so today's experiment, we're going to look at something called a bimetallic strip. Bi meaning two, and metallic means made out of metal. So if you take a look at this closely, you might not be able to see it too well with the line. You'll see that that one kind of has a silvery color to it. That's a steel side. And then when we turn it over to the other side, you can see it kind of has a yellow tinge to it, and that's a copper side. And what happens is these two pieces of metal are actually laminated together. So you can see how thin that is. It's like a butter knife. Okay, very thin. But there's two pieces of metal that are laminated like a sandwich. One piece of metal on either side. So this is the bimetallic strip. The first part of the experiment, actually, we're going to heat this and we're going to see what happens as we heat this up. So as you can see right now, I'm going to hold that up. As you can see, that's nice and straight up and down. Nice and straight. And when I heat this up a little bit, we're going to heat it. I'm going to heat it. And as I'm heating it, look what's happening to it. As I heat it up, look what's happened. So you can see that something's happened to it. And if you look on this side, there's the silvery side, and there's the copper side. Silver and copper, and you can see that that's nice. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put it inside of the ice bath. And I'm going to let that cool down a little bit. And I just put it in the ice bath, and look what's happened. It made it straight again. So watch again, see what happens when I heat it up. It's fairly straight. You can see that straight up and down. I'm going to heat it one more time. I'm heating both sides. Heating both sides of it evenly. Okay, I'm going to heat it up. And as I heat it up, look what's happened to it again. Silver side, gold side. So that's steel and copper. And again, watch, I'm going to stick it, see how it's bent, curved. Stick it into the ice bath. And as I stick it into the ice bath, just temporarily, look what's happened, straight again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this inside of the ice bath. See, it's in the ice bath for a little bit. And we're going to let that sit in there in the ice just a tad bit more, just to see what happens as it cools down. Remember, the ice bath, as the ice melts inside of that water stays at 0 degrees Celsius. So we do know that. The flame from this torch is about 800 plus degrees. I think it's probably on this one here, it's probably closer to 1100 degrees, and I did not melt my apparatus this time. So I left this into the ice bath a little bit. This one's not as easy to see, but we'll take a quick look at it and see what happens. Okay, so again, you can see that it has a bit of a bend to it. So here's the copper side, goldy color, and look, the silver on that side. So copper on that side, so closer to me, silver closer to that wall that you can't see over there. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about this. And before we do that, because I just like to play with this torch, let's heat it up now, because it's bent this way. Let's see what happens. Let's see as I heat it up, what happens to it again. Oh, I bent it again. Okay,